What up, guys? How are y'all? Hope you're doing great. I'm standing in front of my gym. I can't go in there because I got music playing and I get copyright infringement on that. So I'm going to walk around and I'm going to do a little talking. This is going to be one of the most raw, uncut videos you'll ever see from me. And it's just because why I've been gone, why life is the way it's been. And I'll do a little explanation. So there's no excuses in the books for what is going on in my life, of why I'm not recording and why I'm not putting out content like I should be. But here's a story of my last, say, month, okay? Well, about a month and a half. So, about 3 to 4 weeks ago, I got really sick, and it kind of held me back. But there was no excuse there. I could have done videos with that. I just couldn't come to the gym because I was sick. I did not have COVID, nothing crazy. I just had a sinus drip that would make me cough my butt off, okay? So, like, I didn't feel bad. I just couldn't really concentrate on anything. So, I kind of just stayed away from the gym, and I just kind of kept life. And then I didn't feel like doing anything at work or content or anything like that. And I'm not going to lie. One of the biggest reasons why I always struggle with doing content and stuff is because I was trying to take on way too much at the time. Okay, and I'll explain why this is going to change here in a second. And when I tell you the news of why, then you'll be like, oh man, okay? So a week later after that, I was ready to get back on the ball of things and start working towards getting video and content up, okay? And so, sorry, I'm just kind of trying to watch my surroundings because now that I live in a bad area, it is late at night. It's like 12 o'clock at night, and I am standing in a parking lot doing this. I would do it at home, but I just don't want to wake anybody up. So, about 3 or 4 weeks ago, it's been quite some time. I mean, time flies. It's crazy. My son accidentally put 2 of his fingers in my eyeball, and it cut the actual the protective layer over your pupil, the cornea, and it cut it. I couldn't open my eyes, so if I opened this eye, it would open this eye. I was literally blind for 3 days, and it sucked. But still, no excuse. There's no excuse still there, right? So the thing is, I should have put content on around there other than those 3 days, right? Okay. And I admit that's my fault. But yet again, like I said, I was just trying to take on so much, and I was trying to plan it all out and get it. I'm a planner. Like, it's funny because I don't go by plans usually. I just usually go by the seat of my pants. But as I've gotten more into business and stuff like that, I try to plan things out, write schedules out, write routines out. I try to get everything in plans, right? So the next thing that happened to me is the real thing. The thing that hurt me the most, okay? And we're going to sit down here. I'm going to try to sit down here on the curb right here so you can still see me, and we can talk. A very good friend of mine that I work out with the gym at, he thought I should do this in the night of, but I just emotionally couldn't bring myself to do it. On November 2nd, I lost my mother. My mom was my everything. And if I cry, I apologize. But there's no reason for me to apologize, because if you have a mother, you understand. So, on November 2nd, we walked in and found my mother dead on the ground. And my mom was my rock. She was my everything. It's been 2 weeks since, and I've been meaning to make this video ever since, but I just couldn't bring myself to do it. So, I'm doing it now. My mom was my rock. She was so strong for me, even though she was depressed and weak herself. And she was very depressed. And that's really kind of the way she kind of went. Because she had been so depressed, she let herself go. And the fact of she stopped caring. Sorry, my eyes are burning now. So she literally just kind of gave up. And to see a woman that used to work so hard to provide for us, a woman that would literally do anything and everything for us. She would work 80 hours a week, come home, cook, clean, do dishes, everything, work her butt off, and she just gave up. And I would go into the reasons of why she did this, but I'm not trying to cause any issues. But yeah, she gave up. And so I'm not going to say why we all know she gave up. We'll just say my mom has changed so much over the last 15 years after separating with my father. And then she got divorced last year. And I really thought at that time she might pass. But she had an addiction to smoking cigarettes. And she would drink every night. And she had nobody at the house to live with. She lived by herself, her 2 dogs. And she just had given up. And so we hadn't heard from her in a day. And we went to check on her. And my sister found her dead. And then I went in behind her and found her also. And it's one of the hardest things I've ever been through in my life. And I've lost a lot of people in my life in these last 3 or 4 years of my life. And usually I just go, okay, that's fine. It's part of life. Got to move on. But this one I can't from. Okay. So it's been 2 weeks. And I've decided finally to suck it up. And start living for my mom. And start actually getting things going. So I promise, guys, I will be back. I'm going to try to put out a video every flipping day if I can. It's probably not going to start right now. I'm in an advertising school that I paid a lot of money for. And basically, I want to get that finished before I go gung-ho on YouTube. So, another thing is, I've told you guys, I like to take on a lot and then I get overwhelmed. Well, I wasn't overwhelmed this time, but I was trying to take on so much that was taking up so much of my time. And the one thing I regret about it all is the fact that I was so busy that I didn't make time for everybody else in my life. And my mom, luckily, I had a feeling when she told me she didn't feel good a week ago, or the week before she passed. She had the flu, and she had COPD, and she didn't tell anybody she had COPD, and we couldn't fight her with the cigarettes because the cigarettes were her crutch. So I don't know, but I think she basically suffocated to death. And it's been one of the hardest things for me to wrap my head around. Even when I think I'm okay, it comes back and hits me in the face. Like life hits you in the face. And so what I want you guys to understand is, even though we go through the hardest times of our life and we feel like we have everything under control, we never do. Okay? I want you guys to take advice from me in the fact that if you have family that is close to you and you are busy, make time for them. At least if it's 10 minutes a day, do it. Because I got lucky enough that I felt that something was wrong and I hugged and kissed my mom goodbye. And I had a feeling after she left that day that I may never see my mom again, and I was right. Okay? And this is the worst pain you could ever imagine. And so the one thing I regret in my life is literally not being there for my mom. Okay? She was there for me, and I wasn't there for her all the time. I was too busy trying to take on the world, trying to be the number one entrepreneur in the world, the number one son, the number one father, the number one husband, the number one everything in the world over the last 10 years of my life. Going through my own problems in my life and everything else. But the thing is, I didn't sit back and see what was in front of me. And there's a song that says, if I had only known this time would be the last time, I would have stopped everything I was doing and spent more time with you. We never know when life is going to take us, when life is going to take our loved ones. And so I want you guys to know that I want you guys to start paying attention to the people around you. Start focusing on what's going on in life. And then the last thing I want to tell you guys is, the one thing my mom used to always tell me is just slow down, Chris. slow down. I've always worked 2 or 3 jobs or tried to build things or try to be a professional athlete. I was always good at sports, so try to become a professional bowler. I got my professional card. I got good at it, and then I got out of it. Then I got obsessed with golf. I've just always been a go-getter. It's just always been my thing. It's in my blood. It's how my father is. It's how my mother was. It's how my sister is. It's just in our blood. My brother's the same way. And I had never took the time to slow down. But my mom used to always say, just slow down. Focus on one thing at a time. One thing. Just one thing. Get good at that and then move on to the next thing. And I never listened. So I just want you guys to understand, focus. Slow down. Smell the roses. Because I know we all hear this, but coming from somebody that just lost his mother, and I've had roadblock after roadblock in the last 6 months of my life, with my son having seizures and everything else going on, I just want you guys to understand, slow down, because you do not want to regret the moments that you have in front of you. You take the time. If you have kids, spend time with them. When they're asking for your time, if you can put that time of whatever you're doing away and you can do it a little later, do it. Spend that time, because you won't get it back. And the thing is, we get older, we get slower, we don't move as fast, we die. And then our kids have what? And same thing, vice versa. You get moving so fast that you're not there for your parents. We're not getting any younger, guys. Let's just think, let's say your parents are young when they had you and they're 20. Okay, but now you're 25, your parents are 45. Now they're at risk of heart attacks, they're at risk of heart disease, they're at risk of anything. Their heart could blow up. They could have a stroke, they could have an aneurysm. All this stuff can happen to them because they're at that age now. But let's say they had you at 30, like my mom did, and my dad was 42. Now my dad's 79 years old, and my mom was 67, about to be 68 next month. You don't know. And this is my whole point. I'm sorry I have not been on here. And yes, this is a valid reason, and you guys are going to be like, that's a valid reason. I get it. It is. But I want to apologize, because the thing is, I should have been here. I should have been pushing. I should have been thinking. And even if I was crying during it, my mind just wasn't in it. My heart wasn't in it. I just wanted to be with my mom. And so the one thing I want to say is thank you for subscribing to my channel. Thank you for liking my videos. Thank you for commenting. If I haven't been there, this is why. I dealt with a tear in my eye. It was okay. I was good in 3 days. I got back to normal. And then it's funny, because the night after I got my vision back was a Monday night. And that was November 1st. And I came up to the gym, and I was going to go over the 5 points in the video that I had, where it's 5 steps to getting back on your feet. And I was going to do a step for each day of that week. I was going to go in more depth on each step. So I came into the gym and I recorded and I got everything ready, and then my video was blurry. So I had to fix the video, and I was going through that. And on that Tuesday, I bought a new hard drive, getting all my content ready. So I had somewhere to save it, and I could edit it and everything else. And then I got the call from my sister saying, hey, have you talked to mom? And I said no. And I texted her, but the thing is, that's when my sister went and found my mom. So I never got to finish my content or anything like that. And then on top of that, I think my mom passed the day before that. I think she technically passed on November 1st, because she had texted me, and that was the last thing we saw on her phone was the text that she sent me. And I think she fell over. She died on the floor in front of her couch. And yeah, guys, if you got your parents, take advantage. Spend the time with them, because you're not going to get it back. We don't get time back. Excuse me. It's funny, because after I got sick, I was like, I'm going to stop, taking granted my time. My time is very important. And because I couldn't get anything done, because I was so out of it because of being sick, because I wasn't sleeping. And when I don't sleep, I get sick. I don't ever catch the flu. I don't ever get dog sick. It's just lack of sleep. And that's what happened, is I went 2 days without sleep, and I got sick. And then I just couldn't get rid of it for a few days. I finally got rid of it. I was like, okay, well, let's not take, let's not do this. So then my eye got cut, and I was like, here we go again. I take it for granted my vision, and then I lost my mom, and I was like, you know what? You really can't take life for granted, because the thing is, we all know who Kobe Bryant is. We all know who he was, how he passed away, and just, it was like, boom. So life is short, okay? So live life to the fullest, okay? I'm going to start a brand, and I have the logo and everything made. It's called Keep Patient, Keep Pushing. And I created it right after Kobe passed, because the thing was, I was so stressed out, trying to figure everything out. And I was like, just keep patient and keep pushing, because life is short. We don't know when it's going to end, okay? I love you guys. I'm going to go get a workout in, go home and study. And guys, I hope you really understand, and I hope you stick around, because I promise there's going to be a lot of content coming. I promise. I can finally slow down. I finally see everything my mom's been telling me for the last 10 years of my life, especially the last 5 years of my life, especially the last 2.5 years of my life of having a child. Just slow down, focus, do what you love doing. Don't chase money. I did it. It's not worth it. So I want to, for the next 365 days of my life, after I get out of school, I'm going to be doing a couple videos a week until then. But after I get out of school on December 14th, and I have graduation, so it'll probably start maybe in the new year, maybe towards the end of the new year, around Christmas or my birthday. My birthday is December 20th. I'm going to try to put out a video every day for 365 days. I'm going to fully focus on this YouTube channel. I'm going to bring a completely different mindset to people. Now, I'm going to let you know this is going to be for athletics, for people that are athletes, people that want to be better, but it can also definitely apply to the normal human being, okay? I just want to bring as much content as I can to the world, okay? Guys, I love you. I appreciate you for watching. A lot of people aren't going to watch this, but it's fine. I just want you guys to understand where I've been, all right? Love you guys. Have a good night, and bye.